Welcome back to episode 2 in the Director of Football Challenge here in Kolding IF, where we just reached the mid-season break. But before we go look at the schedule and also the league, we need to take a look at the transfers from the summer first, and also just take note on a couple of other things that have happened since last episode. To begin with, we did end up signing the defensive midfielder here, Isuna Uchowukwu. Maybe I'm gonna call him just Isuna. Yeah, he needed a work permit, but we did get him at last, and I'm pretty happy with that. He's been okay so far, I would say. We did also sign a winger called Ahmed Dakhim from Palestine, funny enough. Came in a loan deal here, simply just a body if we did get any injuries, which we did. So yeah, that was actually a good choice. He haven't played a lot, but it was important to have that extra body in there. There were not really a lot of outgoing in the summer window of note, except from those that were already, predetermined by the game. Maybe one to note on here is Omar Sheikh Ali, which is the youngster that we were looking at in the last episode. He didn't really want to take another contract, and someone else came in for him. Also, Tobias Sommer was one of those planned players. He's gone as well, but otherwise not really anything outside of what we already knew would happen. Further down the line, at a couple of months in, I decided some new contracts were gonna happen here. Some renewals, right? Would be a good idea. I just feel like that there was a couple of players that was running out of contract in the winter and we probably wanted, and this is the first guy of those. Christopher Palm, he signed a new one, and he's gonna earn, I think, a few hundred euros more as one of our best youngsters, but only for another 6 months, so it's still gonna run out in the summer period. He hasn't played a lot, but he looks good enough to earn that kind of money for me. Another youngster, Isaac Tonander, who did way better than I could ever have expected him to do, and might be first choice winger currently at least. Yeah, he also got a new contract, and that is gonna be running for a year until the next winter period, or the next winter transfer. And he's gonna get 725 euros. But yeah, he's been fairly good, as you can tell from down here. 11 apps, 5 goals, 1 assist. He's been one of the better players. Sebastian Sommer, our captain and possibly the best player at the club right now, also signed a new contract running until next winter for 1.2 wages, which is actually 400 more than he had before, but I think he is completely worth it. So that was not really a lot of stuff happening for us as a DOF to dig into. So yeah, why not take a look at the schedule here and look at the footballing side of things. And let's take a look. It's kind of a bumpy road. Some good results, some bad results, lots of goals in either end. So that's kind of interesting. And as you can tell, there are still, if we scroll all the way down here, there are still 5 games before the league split into 2. I've managed to make a top 3 goals kind of thing with either important or just good goals to also showcase some of the in-game footage. This is a goal by Beck Jensen, who takes it into his stride and just finish it up really nicely. First goal against B93 here. From a failed corner, Jensen managed to get it in again, and Mikkelsen with a great hitter into the post and in. That was just lovely, wasn't it? Kutsk is receiving the ball here at the edge of the area and just drills it into the corner. So we are 5th in the league with 25 points after 17 games, which is better than I expected. I would have thought we would be way closer to the 8th or maybe the 9th spot down here with Helsingør and Hillerød. Really outperformed this one. I am very, very happy about where we are right now in the league. Which is leading us to the main man himself, Lasse Holmgaard, our manager, and he can rest fairly comfortable in his seat with a win percentage of 45% in all 20 games he had played, or well, not played, but being the manager, so to speak. So yeah, he's doing so much better than what I could have hoped for. Good days, just lovely, just absolutely fantastic here. Let's get into some of the details about how he actually did this. I've set up the tactical screen here to represent his most used players, with also some of what seem to be the most used roles. Now, it's not a perfect thing because he's moving around with a lot of it, but this is probably a pretty good representation of what he's up to, our manager. And to the right, you can also see some of the statistics to look at for some of the players. We might take a look at that as well here. just a couple of things to maybe make of note of it. In the lineup, we do of course have Peterson as the goalkeeper right now. We don't have the new player in there yet, but he has been the main guy in there as a normal goalkeeper, I think it is. So that's that. Charnelon, yeah, inverted wingback. That is probably the role that he's changing around the most. The inverted wingback into a wingback, into a fullback. You know, a lot of stuff happening there, but a lot of inverted wingbacks have been played this season so far. So Charnelon is the one. On the other side is Neuer, same deal. Lots of fullbacks, lots of wingbacks as well, but mostly inverted wingbacks. Central defenders, Kilrich and Vestergaard seems to be the preferred choices there. And our new defensive midfielder that we brought in has been the preferred choice. But sometimes also Sommer is coming down playing here. Sommer is probably the main guy up there as the box-to-box midfielder. Sometimes that's also a central midfielder, and sometimes it's also a Masila. It depends on who is playing there, I would say. If it's Jensen, he's probably going to be playing as a Masila. And on the other side, it is a Masila or a central midfielder as well. But mostly I would say that Jensen has been playing here as the Masila, so that's very, very interesting. Further up the field here, we got the inside forward Kutsk, who has been playing both of those games. If he's fit and all of that, he's definitely playing in there. On the other side, very interesting to see this guy, Tonander. I would, to start with, it was actually Jensen being played over here. But he came back from an injury and, you know, he's been really, really good. We also gave him a new contract, of course. So Tonander is the preferred choice on the left-hand side right now. And it is inside forwards. He is sometimes playing inverted wingers, but very, very, very rarely playing wingers. Like, it's very rare he's playing normal wingers. It's mostly the inside kind of things he's playing for now. Up front, it's either going to be Mikkelsen or the other guy, but mostly it's actually Mikkelsen starting in. And then, what's his name? Christensen, the guy on loan, who I thought was actually better. He is usually coming in, doing the match, but it's target forwards, of course. So that is kind of the lineup and how the roles are being played for him. The standout players in average rating is Palm and Schuschmann, but yeah, that is in cup games mainly. So I think we could argue that the standout players is more so Jensen and also Tonander. So I would definitely say that the youngsters, they are standout right now. They are definitely the standout in terms of average ratings, right? Another statistic that I really like to look at is points, what's it called? Points won per game? Yeah, that's the one. So here's the thing. There is a lot of roles that often are overlooked within the match engine that do not get a lot of rating. Rating is a really good tool to figure out who's playing well and stuff. But there is also players that just brings in the points without getting the rating. One of them is Isuna, right? It doesn't look like he's playing well, but he brings the points. Same with Neuer. 13 games, 1.62 in points. Trier also. Vetter, same deal. He's a little bit higher than the other ones. But what they all got in common, these guys, is that they are very defensive. Even their attributes are very defensive-minded. They are defensive-minded players. So remember to look at that. At least I really like this statistic. A couple of other developments here is the finances. They are not looking too hot, with me spending maybe a little bit too much without knowing the income beforehand. But I do plan to make a wide range of changes in the summer when it comes to contracts and running out. Both players and staff members are running out of contract. We're gonna, change a lot there. So hopefully after a reset, we can manage it a little bit better next season. Because, yeah, we can't have this running out of control. Not that I think it is, but it could be in the long term if we don't manage the wages a little bit better. That brings us to the part where we are looking forward to where we think there are some problematic areas within our squad and maybe something to fix in the upcoming winter transfer window. It's still 2 months away. There's still one more game to play, but yeah, the break is starting now, so yeah. So where are we weak and where are we okay and where we okay? We need to figure out a strategy for the transfer window, basically. The goalkeepers, well, I guess they're looking okay, but with a few question marks for me, because we will have a new main man in Leonard Mosser coming in when the window is closing. And the current main man, Peterson here, he wants to leave, and he is wanted and he is listed as well. He's exploring different options, so he's gonna be leaving, while also the currently third option, this guy, the Ukrainian we got into in the summer transfer, he's going out on loan, as we can see right here. He's not gonna be here for long. So we also have a new third option coming in this guy. So a lot of moving around in the goalkeeper area. Nothing that we didn't know was gonna happen, but again, just so we can imagine what is going to happen in the last section of this season. The fullbacks on the right hand side is, well, I think they're looking all right. As long as Tjørnelund is staying around for the remainder of the season, he is exploring, options as well after the end of the season. And he could even end up, going out this transfer window. And if that happens, we do need someone else. But yeah, Gundelach, well, at least our Lasse, the manager, he's not rating him very highly. I still believe he's a fairly good second and third choice even. So I'm not too worried over here at the right-hand side of things in the fullback area. On the left-hand side in the fullback area, we will be strengthened with Ingvarsson coming in, the Icelandic player. Let's take a look at him. Maybe we know some more numbers. Not really. But here's the thing, we do lose both Wilkins and Trier in this winter period time, so maybe we do need a third option here. We will see what we can find in that kind of area, but yeah, there might be something to be done here. Moving to the left-footed central defenders here is also an area we might need to find a second player in, as Trier is, or was, that main man. Or the second option in there. And Gulbrand is, well, he's a youngster, so I don't think that's going to be a good idea. And also Nørair is, of course, the main first choice elsewhere, so probably need something here as well. Not quite the same here with the right-footed defenders, as we do have that big wage, what is it, 1500 Leifson coming in. So I have a feeling that a third choice youngster here might be okay if we manage to find that second left-footed defender instead. The defensive midfielders, they got the same issue as last summer basically, and that is that we do only have Isuner being a natural in this spot. Well, Sebastian Sommer could go down and play there, and he has done that a couple of times. And other than that, we only had the two youngsters, Johan Gulbrand, who actually covers quite a few places, and also Ebbe Jørgensen, who is, I don't think they're ready for first team football. So a second option to Isuna might be on the wish list here. Central midfielders with a preferred right foot is where we got most squad depth right now. Unfortunately, the best of the lot is not gonna be here. He decided fairly early on, I'm talking about Asger Bech Jensen, he did not really want to stay. I never got into a negotiation with him, so he is gone at the end of, well, December. So that is not great. Thankfully, we do maybe have someone who can take over for him, and that is the new guy coming in, Jeppe Pedersen. He looks like a really good, well-rounded box-to-box midfielder, but we don't know. But yeah, at least we are not gonna have any problems here in terms of squad depth. We are good to go. The left-hand side of the midfield is a bit more of a question mark to me, as we got our best player and captain in Sommer here, of course. And I guess that's about it. We do have the youngster up here, Gulbrand, but yeah, he should probably not be there. And then we also have this new guy coming in, and I guess we need to evaluate how good he actually is. I haven't seen these numbers before now. You know what? He might be a lot better than I thought he were to begin with, because I was scouting him because I was a little bit afraid of this situation. But I think he might be good enough as the backup to Sommer. So maybe maybe there's no worries here. It might be okay with just those two players. And also we could use one of the right-footed players to play here as a third option, so we might be okay in the midfield, generally speaking. The left inside forward, or winger, but I think it's gonna be left inside forward, we should be all right. We got Tonander and the new arrival probably gonna battle it out between them. Again, I don't know how good he is, but I think he's gonna be equal to Tonander. So they're gonna be battling it out for first and second spot, and then we have, of course, the loan deal here with Dakim, who is gonna be the third option. I think we're perfectly fine here. Quite contrary to the right-hand side, where I think we at least we do need a key player over here, and with Kutsk going out or moving out, I don't think Ngungu is gonna be it. He's right-footed, so he's more of a winger. That's one thing, but also I think he's below the quality we need as a first option. And NJ is probably better on the left-hand side, so this do seem like a focus area to find a new player for. Up top, the forwards, it is a bit more situational. I got Mikkelsen listed for transfer, and yeah, if that happens, I think we do need another option then. If not, I'm happy to just continue with those two until the end of the season, with Ngungu as a third option and maybe even Bossen as the third option. I mean, he at least proved early on that he could definitely step up from time to time. So he's definitely the best youngster we have under 20 basically. So yeah, it's very situational with the strikers. We'll see what happens, but if and that's a big if Mikkelsen is sold, we will go look for someone else. So to sum all that up, we absolutely do need an inside forward, a key inside forward. We do need a backup defensive midfielder, and we also need a backup for the central defender on the left-hand side. While more situational, we might need a striker, but that's maybe. And all those backup that I just named, they could also just be upgrades to the ones we already have, but that depends on what we find. So that's kind of the focus for the scouting. And when it comes to the scouting department, I have been busy, and so have our scouts. We got 2 ongoing focuses right now, and that is actually not going to change. And let me show you why if we're moving over to the shortlist here. We are currently on the default page, and this is where all the current scouting is going on. If we went into the scout priorities, all of these would also be in there because I want to scout them actively. When I have enough knowledge, as you can see here, I actually go by knowledge here. When I have enough knowledge about them, I can decide where to move them further, because we do have 2 more over here in 2 more shortlists. So how this works is I am looking at the grade first. If they're below B and the scouts deem them not worthy, they're gone. I'm just going to stop scout them and just get rid of them. Get rid of them, stop scout them. And if they're better than that, we can just keep scouting them until we have reasonable enough information to make an assumption. And I'm actually going full scouting. Reasonable is not even enough for me. I want to know everything about them. So we don't actually have one in here that we can actually use as an example, but it doesn't matter too much. You already know how this works. So if I have full extent of knowledge here, I can move them up onwards to the next kind of section. And how do I do that? Well, it depends on their grade and it depends on their DNA, which is over here, the DNA. So if they fit the DNA, they are just straight on, they're just gonna go into this one, which is anything that is B or higher that also fits the DNA. And you can see here, yeah, we've been busy, right? We have a lot of players in here, and as you can see, pretty much all of them are still in B. Some of them might be in B minus, but that's fine. Is there one in C here? Apparently, maybe they scouted him all the way through, and I put him over here too early. But yeah, he's a C plus. But otherwise, it's basically B plus players. Now that doesn't mean a whole lot because our scouts might not be good enough. So I still need to go through them all myself, which I did when I put them over here. And yeah, they're all good enough. And more importantly, they fit the DNA. Some of them might not because they're goalkeepers, but that's where I like line it up. Goalkeepers, fine, you might not need the DNA. But otherwise, they fit the DNA that I deem worthy of DNA for this level. And the other one that I'm, moving it over to is this one, which is basically any player that doesn't fit the DNA, but might be, there is one guy in here in B+, but otherwise they are probably A or better. Like A is the minimal that I would put in here. So they don't fit the bill in terms of the DNA, but they might be good enough anyway to maybe look at. So yeah, we got plenty of players to look at. Now, the main problem is, of course, almost all of these guys are already in a club. So there is a couple that isn't. So getting anything for free might be hard. And if we are looking for new players here in the winter transfer, we might be looking toward loan deals. I haven't actually figured out. Let's go and check that out, actually. But yeah, that's the scouting. That's the entire scouting. And I think we got enough in here that I'm not going to focus my scouts into something else because I got plenty of players to look at anyway. What I was trying to say before is that we are probably going to be looking at loan deals, or likely going to be looking at loan deals for the players we're looking for in the transfer window. Why? Because it's going to be, well, there are some players running out of contract, of course, but it's still going to be hard to get them, I would say. So maybe we're going to consider loan deals. And I was looking at, can we even get them? Yeah, it seems like we can get up to 7 foreign, and I think also it's just 7 players total on loan. So it shouldn't be much of a problem as we only have 3. Yeah, we have 3 players right now, Vestergaard, Christensen, and Dakim. So we can get 4 more loan deals, and maybe even more. I'm just not sure about the rule there, but at least 7 foreigners. So it shouldn't be a problem. We're probably going to look at getting some loan deals over the line instead of normal deals. But it all depends on what we find, right? It all depends. We'll see too. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's about it. I think we can move on with time again. We are only at the 27th of November. We got 1 game to play. I'm not gonna show you. Maybe, well, I will show you how it ended. But yeah, I think the transfer window is opening January the 1st, so there is actually more than a month to that happening. So let's move, let's get there. We had a game left to play before the break, and as you can see, it is a win against Køge away from home, so that is very, very good. It seems like Lasse Holmgaard continues to switch things up in his role selection for the players, and yeah, with a lot of success, I would say. So that's good. We do have the first signing already now, 4th of December. I managed to find a very interesting loan deal here. Mustafa Issa for 1.2k per week. Now he is the perfect player to get in right now. Why? Well, not because he's 19, but look at this guy, right? He is very fast, and he is exactly that winger, inside forward type of thing we were looking for. Something that can come in and be the key man, right? We already now in 4th December, even before, over a month before we even get into the transfer, we got this nailed on, so we can relax a little bit more here. Perfect, right? It's a loan deal, it's fine, it's cost beneficial as well for 1.2k. Everything looks excellent here. He played a little bit in the Superliga, played a lot in the non-competitive. I think going down a level for him is, I think he could destroy this league, or he's better than, he's probably our best player for the rest of the season. And yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about this guy. He just looks really, really good for this level. So happy days, very happy days actually. 1st of January, and we do have 2 players that are released. Asger Bæk Jensen, unfortunately, of course, and also the Ukrainian, the youngster Ukrainian, the goalkeeper there. He is also gone. I thought he had a loan deal, but no, he was just actually leaving, unfortunately, as well. I say unfortunately, to be honest, he's not that great. I decided to give our youngster Johan Guldbrand a professional contract, 300 wages, not a massive deal. Is he worth it? I don't know, but there was a couple of clubs sniffing around about him, so I thought, yeah, we're gonna keep him, and it is very likely that we're not gonna find another central defender, and he's gonna be the 4th option in both left and right hand side, basically because he's fairly strong on the left hand side as well. We got a new signing. It is another loan deal. Hendrik Hofgartner, a defensive midfielder who's gonna be the rotational option with Isuna on that midfield, which is really, really nice. Let's confirm it and take a look at him. He is nothing special. He got some, I mean, again, he's not gonna be the one that is gonna set this, you know, thing on fire, right? He's not. He's coming in to do a duty, and he is a fringe kind of player, backup, rotational. And the good thing about him is that he's also versatile enough to go back and play a central defender. Is he good at it? No, but is he better than the other option we had in the youngster? Yes, he is, but he's not great at it. And also we could go up and play a midfielder role as well, and he is left-footed, so he also fits the left-hand side, which was a little bit weak over here, right? It's a little bit, it could also do with it something, and of course he will do a duty in the defensive midfield, so I'm pretty happy with that. The only other thing that we probably are looking at is a defender on the left-hand side. We don't know yet how good Ingvarsson is, and Nørager and Ingvarsson alone is, yeah, we don't have any youngsters either to fill that spot, so potentially we could sign something there, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. So yeah, a new player in Hofgartner, and I doubt we're gonna sign more players unless someone else is being sold, or yeah, we actually have a little bit of a problem when it comes to registration. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it here. We can actually sign up to 21 players because we do not have any players of the age of 20 or younger. Blah blah blah. But yeah, we can only really have 21 registered, and we already have a couple coming in as well, so we cannot sign anyone new here. I think we are at 21 right now with the signing we just did. So yeah, it is what it is, but we will take a look at the other signings when they do come in and see how good they actually are. Our new goalkeeper is finally here. Lennart Moser, 24 years old, B. Fans are pretty happy with him. I haven't actually looked at him. We only knew, oh, he's good. He is good, isn't he? Oh, let's compare him to our other goalkeeper here. Yeah, Peterson. Oh yes, it is a pretty big upgrade. That's gonna be good. That is definitely a very good signing. And it's not our signing, but I'll take it anyway. Yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 more of these players coming in. Or yeah, 3 more. So a couple more to look forward to here. Jeppe Pedersen was the next one on 1.2k wages, and he will be here for a year. It is kind of exciting this way because you don't know what you get, which is only going to be happening this season. Next season, of course, we always know what we're going to get. Let's check him out. Jeppe Pedersen here. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it would be. A very, very well-rounded player. Marcila, is he left-footed? Oh, he got a reasonable left foot. Okay. So he could definitely also play on the left-hand side. That is good. Very, very good physicals here. Just really well-rounded. Good leadership. Yeah, good teamwork. Good work rate. He's a player I would probably have, you know, brought in myself, to be honest. I like these well-rounded midfielders that can play a little bit of everything without excelling in anything. Yeah, he looks promising, and also only 22. Yeah. Yeah. Anything up here we need to be concerned about? No, I don't think so. I mean, big matches, weakest area of game, yeah. No, I think we're good. This looks promising to me. Yeah, I am very happy about that signing as well. And the next 2, which is... Yeah, we still got 2 more to go after this, I think. But one of these are, of course, a youngster, Vilas West, but assistant report seems pretty good. I haven't looked at him. And also Ingvarsson, who was that fullback we were getting. Both of them B- with fan reactions. So actually the last player we were looking at, what was his name? The other midfielder? Yeah, the other midfielder we just got in. It was actually a loan deal from OB. So yeah, we did it. But he's still here for a year. So we will have him at least for a half a season next season as well. So not bad at all. Let's take a look at the youngster here first to see how good he is. He is almost... Let's actually compare him to the other midfielder, Jeppe Pedersen here. Very similar kind of type. A little bit, you know, definitely a youngster, but he could develop a little bit further than Jeppe Pedersen could here. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's go back to him actually and check out him again. And let's see if there's another Marcila, right? Is he very strong left-footed? Wow, yeah. I mean, I already knew he was left-footed, but still, it's like... the good thing here is we don't need to register him because he's only 19. So... And he looks like a very promising player. He's almost looking as good as the player that was leaving us. I don't see him in here. Nah, okay, whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a good deal, I think. 800 wages, not too high either. Straight down the middle of the road here, and he's definitely gonna play some games here and there, probably from the bench, I would say. With the amount of midfielders we have, I would even say that we might want to get rid of something. But it's actually, yeah, it's the 31st of January here, so it's actually on the transfer deadline day. And this is the fullback, the Icelandic. So he's a very physical type of player, which I expected to see. Oh, he's also a winger. We didn't know that. He's also an inverted winger. That fixes another problem I had. It wasn't like we needed... It wasn't like we... I mean, he could be a kind of interesting inverted winger, couldn't he? Well, I don't know. It depends. I mean, it's up to the manager to play him how he wants. But the main thing is we only really have 2 fullbacks, right? We don't really have a lot of fullbacks right now. So he's like yeah. So right now we only have 2. We have Neuer and Ingvarsson, and Neuer is way more defensive minded. So he has, you know, in some games he might play Ingvarsson there, and some games maybe Neuer. And also some games I could see Ingvarsson actually go up here and play above Dakim even. I think he's a better player than Dakim. So yeah, very interesting to see that we get an extra winger out of it as well, kind of. But 1400 wages? I don't know. I mean, with that pace and that acceleration, maybe so. Also the stamina and the agility. He could be very, very good. Physicality is definitely the key to success in lower league football, and this is a lower league at this level of football, the physical part of the game is very, very important. But yeah, another interesting player to come in here. I think we do have a good player here, but how good is, well, I guess we will see at the end of the season how well he actually performed. Also, the vision is 13, right? Vision is 13, so he might also create quite a few assists, especially with 11 crossing and technique of 11 as well. It might not sound high, but all those numbers add up together, especially with his acceleration and pace, getting into the situation where he could cross it in or could make a tap in. Yeah, it sounds all very good on paper, but we will see about it. We will see about it. And now to the last two players to come in. I am a little bit worried about our new winger, but let's take a look at our new centre back first here, Ari Leifsson. Is he Swedish? No, he's Icelandic. All right, he's very good. He's very, very good. He's definitely our best central defender. So I mean, he's gonna be first choice, isn't he? He is probably first choice on either side, but I don't know where our manager decides to play him. I think he might reason on the right hand side, so it's kind of interesting to see how that all lines up in the end. But yeah, very, very good player here. How long did we have him for? 2 years. It's good. Or 1.5 years. He is worth almost 650k coming in as a star player. Yeah, yeah, I would call him a star player. That's very good. I can't really see, is there any like injury prone, or maybe he's injury prone. Competitive streak, so okay, fair enough. But yeah, it looks, let's actually go to the, let's actually do this and do analyze here or something like that. But yeah, it looks fairly good. I don't really have anything to complain about in terms of the transfers we got. That was predetermined, or not predetermined, but pre-made. I mean, these guys are also there in real. I actually checked up on them, and this guy is definitely good in real as well. He looks like one of the key players in Kolding in real. So not too surprising that he was gonna be a good player. Abdullah J. Let's take a look. Right. Okay. Very good flair, decent dribble. So he's a bit more of a dribbler boy. Yeah, okay. I think he is first choice over there. I think he is. Yeah, well, he's not better than Mustafa Isar on the other hand, but I think we actually have. I think this is probably the best choice on the left-hand side, where Mustafa Isar is going to be playing on the right-hand side. But yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with this. I thought I was a little bit afraid that it could be worse than that. But yeah, he looks fairly good. He has also played all season in Nordic. Where did he play? Næstved. So he's been playing in the same league as ours and done fairly well for himself. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? He's just an upgrade on what we already had. So I can't really complain. What we might have a situation with is the registration. Let's get in there and figure it out. Right, so I actually think the decision is not that hard in the end. Why? Well, because of who we got and who we are not playing with and stuff like that. So we have two that is under 21, which is the West and the Isar guy, Mustafa Isar. Two of the new players, they are under 21, don't need to register them. So the only one left out here is Ahmed Dakim. Why? Well, the main reason I'm doing that is because I think Mustafa Isar and also, who was the other guy we got in? Injai is just so much better than him that I doubt he will get any playtime, right? I don't think so. And even then, Ingvarsson is also just a better winger than the loan deal. So I think I can him here. I can unfortunately not get rid of him. We cannot terminate his loan, so but he will probably be terminated anyway because he's not playing. So I'm not too concerned about that. But otherwise, yeah, it looks like we have a decent squad here. Definitely better than we had before. So yeah, it should be good. It should be good. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'm also all those deals that we didn't know about. We didn't really know how good they were. All those predetermined kind of pre-transfers there. We had no idea how good they would be, but oh man, it turned out pretty well here for us. I'm very happy about the deals they did for us. So yeah, happy days. And I think that's also gonna be the end of this episode very, very soon at least, because the transfers are done, right? We don't have any more transfers, and the transfer window is closed. So it's about to end here. It's about to end. We do have some friendlies. We lost the first friendly, and then we have 4 games left, right? We have 4 games left before the split. There is a split in the Danish league systems where it's gonna be either we're gonna be in the promotion group or we're gonna be in the relegation group. Now, I am not sure that we are gonna be in the promotion group. We might be up there right now, but we have some really tough games here. We got Sønderjyske, which is 7th. That is, if we don't win that, and it's gonna be really hard. If we don't win against them, it's gonna be very hard, because right after we got Hobro, which is 5th, and then we got Næstved, who is 3rd, and then we also got 6th place horses. So nothing is decided where we're gonna end up in the split. Nothing is decided. So I think I'm gonna come back for the next episode right after this match, so we know where we are. And then the next episode is gonna be, you know, probably a little bit more about, yeah, up until the end of the season, right? So I'm gonna make 3 episodes per season, basically. I think that's a good way to do it. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode, mid-season episode here. And yeah, again, it's gonna be mostly about the transfers, the storylines, and all of that kind of stuff. So I hope you're enjoying it, and yeah, I'll see you around next time.